X and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk says he's moving both of those companies' headquarters to Texas.
In a post on X today, Musk said that a bill that California Governor Gavin Newsom recently signed was the final straw.
It bans school districts from requiring staff to notify parents if their children change their gender identification. On his social media site X, Musk posted, quote, "Because of this law and the many others that preceded it, attacking both families and companies, SpaceX will now move its HQ from Hawthorne, California to Starbase, Texas. That's in South Texas near Brownsville."
Now, he followed that up by posting again on X a few minutes later, saying that X headquarters will move to Austin. No word yet on where exactly Musk would move X's headquarters or how many jobs that might bring to Central Texas. X and SpaceX would be the third and fourth companies owned by Musk to have headquarters in Texas. Of course, Tesla and the Boring Company both have headquarters right here in the Austin area.
Wow.
Hold on, no, we're going on to the next.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis took aim at a familiar foe, criticizing California Governor Gavin Newsom for signing a law that no longer requires schools to notify parents if their children decide to use a different gender.
Honestly, I wasn't surprised. I assumed they had already done that. I mean, I did this debate with him last fall, and he was trying to say that California respects parents' rights. And I said, well, that's interesting because you have a policy where minor children from other states are allowed to travel to California behind their parents' back and get gender transition hormones and surgery. How the heck is that respecting those parents' rights?
Right.
So this is something that is, I think, par for the course there. And why are they doing this? Because they view ultimately the state and the state-imposed ideology to be supreme. And so if you as a parent want to raise your kids in a way that departs from that state-mandated ideology, they're going to claw back your rights and your privileges to do so.
This, like their debate, could be a preview of what 2028 will hold. I'm Naomi Lim in Milwaukee for the Washington Examiner.
Where it says, "But if you will not listen to me and will not do all these commandments, if you spurn my statutes, and if your soul abhors my rules, so that you will not do all my commandments, but break my covenant, then I will do this to you. I will visit you with panic, with wasting disease and fever that consume the eyes and make the heart ache. And you shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. I will set my face against you, and you shall be struck down before your enemies. Those who hate you shall rule over you, and you shall flee when none pursues you." Israel's destroyed in battle. What should they make of this? Of their faithful Bible students? They've not been obedient to God. They've not been walking by faith in God.
Elon Musk, the owner of X, formerly Twitter, has pledged to donate to a super PAC that supports Donald Trump $45 million a month leading up to the election. So convinced is Elon Musk of the need for Donald Trump to come back that he's putting his own money out there for his election campaign. And one of the interesting things to follow too is how this is all playing out since the debate where Joe Biden really struggled and it sparked this conversation among the Democrats of whether he should still be on the ticket.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Elon Musk, who has endorsed Trump. And not only has he endorsed Trump, according to the Wall Street Journal, Elon Musk says that this is fake news, but I think that there's probably something true about it. He is donating a staggering amount of money to a Trump-aligned super PAC. They are reporting $45 million a month, even though, I mean, I feel like that's a lot, even for somebody like Elon Musk, who is super rich. I mean, it's still pocket change, but at the same time, that's still a ton of money.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. That's a lot
per month. I'm not sure if it's that much, but apparently Elon Musk is donating money to a Trump-aligned super PAC. It's probably, again, a staggering amount, no matter how you look at it, because, again, the guy is filthy rich. But Elon, he is also overtly coming out and becoming more political, okay? Because he's now endorsed Trump. He's endorsing a Republican. He's aligning with the Republican Party, so to speak. And he is openly rebuking the Democrats, okay? And one of the reasons why is because Democrats are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it comes to social issues in this country.
Absolutely.
Okay? And Elon has made it clear that he does not agree with the far left woke agenda of the left time and time and time again. And now he is really speaking with his money, okay, because he is essentially threatening to move SpaceX out of California over their new trans notification law, which is essentially a law that bans public schools from notifying parents when a child starts to use different pronouns or is transitioning, right? So if a child is now trying to be trans, okay, aka they got influenced in school, right, to the point where they're like, okay, well, I want to be a different gender or whatever. The school cannot notify the parents that, this is what the child is currently going through, right? So basically, this is a law to hide information from parents, to take away power from parents when it comes to knowing about what their kid is doing in school. And it is essentially allowing schools to have free reign over kids, right? Again, it's completely anti-parent, okay? It's an anti-parent law. And Elon Musk is somebody that has dealt with a child that is transitioning. So I believe that this is personal to him. Again, so personal that he is threatening to leave the state over this law to move SpaceX out of the state. And I want to talk about it. But before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can check out my merch. Like, for example, one of my favorite shirts, the Make Biology Great Again shirt, especially in the MAGA red.
Okay. So, yeah, we got to have a conversation now.
Yeah.
So, okay, you showed quite a few clips here.
Yeah. And what I'm showing is, right, I'm glad you paused it. So the first two clips it was talking about was what's going on, just a little context. On top of this is reinforcing the context of what I showed. But in the middle, what I wanted to show, that was a pastor talking. He was talking about what's coming on us is called the Great Ichabod. And I'm going to play it in another video. And basically it's talking about, God is taking his hand off this country because, think of, especially when it comes down to all the sins and things that we've been going on, and especially when it comes down to the children. And so God is pulling his hand back, and you start noticing more and more of this stuff is passing. Gavin Newsom is working for the enemy. This is anti-God.
Of course. There's no absolute way. So all the problems that come along with that, I've watched several videos of individuals who did that and had and just was like very, very unhappy and transitioned back to their biological gender.
Yeah.
So I think that's absolutely wrong. There is no way another institution should have the right or authority to make a decision for a person's child when they are, by law, the legal guardians, to the one that's raising and taking care of the child and has been taking care of the child, and they are the parents. Whether these people have adopted the child or it's their birth parents. If they legal right, they should not have that, and that is a huge problem.
A massive problem.
It's a huge problem. Many people are going to be leaving the state. Many people have already left the state.
And it's going to definitely increase. What's going to happen is you're going to get so many people leaving, and then.
But that's got to violate the Constitution in some kind of way.
Yeah, and then because you got to think these people have a sick, twisted option because they have the ability to put power in play, and they have a sick mindset. Whatever is the source and root behind these people that will allow these kind of things to go and play, I bet you it's demonic. And but let's keep playing. Let's keep watching.
Is extremely comfortable, and I think that I look pretty good in it. Okay, so
look at them triceps.
Check it out. You
Come
can
on, Black.
At my website, reformbcp.com.
Look at them triceps.
20% off using discount code
I love it.
Team
Let's go.
BCP. Roll the clip.
Biology.
The new law will stop California public schools from notifying parents if the student starts using different pronouns or identifies as a different gender than what's in school records. State Assembly member Lori Wilson welcomes the new law.
This is extremely important because, as most people know, I have a transgender son who actually was transitioning while in high school. And although we as a family knew generally that he was struggling with his identity, we did not know that at school he was going by a different name. And it was actually a teacher who first told us.
She says she was disappointed the teacher had betrayed her child's trust. State Assembly member Christopher Ward authored the bill.
It is very invasive when you are coming out. You want to be in control of your information and not have that shared by outside actors, and particularly other government actors like school officials.
But today, those who oppose the law say the state will now pay a price, including Elon Musk, who posted on X that he is moving 2 of his company's headquarters out of the state, saying because of this law and the many others that preceded it, attacking both families and companies, SpaceX will now move its headquarters from Hawthorne, California to Starbase, Texas, and then posting that X headquarters will move to Austin.
I think it's a farce to say that it had to do with this legislation. He's been planning that for a very long time. And I think that it's unfortunate that he, as an entrepreneurial leader, chooses to use his platform and his voice to continue to spread hate and to be divisive.
Musk isn't the only opponent. The president of the Liberty Justice Center says his legal team now plans to fight the new law in court.
Parents absolutely have a right to know that information. Parents have a right to direct the upbringing of their children, and they don't give that right up just because they send their children to a public school.
That's right.
But here at the Billy DeFrank LGBTQ Community Center in San Jose, leaders say kids need the state law so they can feel safe and protected in deciding who they want to share their gender story with. The new law is set to go into effect January 1st. In San Jose, Marianne Favreau, NBC Bay Area News.
Yeah. So what you have here is a law that is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. It is a representation of just how ass backwards the Democrat Party is. And you have some of these schools that are supporting this, saying that, well, kids should feel safe talking to us about their transition, right? And it's like, no. It's not your responsibility to talk to kids about something as personal as their gender identity, right? That is actually the job of the parents. And this is something that parents should know. But again, California, they want to raise your kids because they feel like they know what's best, okay?
Yeah,
and we all know what's happening. It is left-wing indoctrination where they're turning kids into these woke revolutionaries that really don't understand how to do basic things like reading, writing, math, the things that you're supposed to learn in school, but they know how to vote Democrat and they know how to support the woke revolutionaries and far left communist ideology, right? This is what they're pushing in schools. And if you push back against it, they're going to say that you're hateful and bigoted for speaking out against it, which is what's happening to Elon Musk. You actually have Governor Gavin Newsom, who was triggered by Elon Musk coming out and saying that he's planning on moving his rocket company, SpaceX, from California in response to this. And I also think that Elon Musk is going to move his company X as well, too, from California, moving them to Texas over this insane policy.
3 years ago, Elon Musk made the public announcement he was leaving California to move to Texas. And now he's taking several of his companies with him, including SpaceX, which is...
Person, on a side note, I don't, honestly, I agree with a lot of companies. I don't know why, I'm just being real with you. I don't know why. I don't know why a lot of these companies still keep your business over here. Your taxes are extreme. The laws are crazy. It was a thing that was a big thing in the past. Now things have changed so much for the negative. You save more money and get a fresh start somewhere else. I wouldn't do it.
Been in Hawthorne since 2008. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards. She's live there now with more. Chelsea?
Yeah, still a lot of questions as to how all of this is going to play out. The word on how many employees are going to be affected or any idea on what the timeline is for any of this. But Elon made this crystal clear today. He is taking his businesses out of California. Big announcements from Elon Musk. He took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to declare that 2 of his California-based companies are heading to Texas, posting, "This is the final straw. Because of this law and many others that preceded it, attacking both families and companies, SpaceX will now move its headquarters from Hawthorne, California to Starbase, Texas." Musk is referencing a new state law recently signed by Governor Gavin Newsom, banning educators from telling families about students' gender identity changes, adding, "I did make it clear to Governor Newsom about a year ago that laws laws of this nature would force families and companies to leave California to protect their children. He then announced that he would also move X from San Francisco to Austin. The governor clapped back within hours, reposting an old tweet from former President Donald Trump, which mentioned how Musk had gone to the White House asking for help, quote, on his many projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere. I could have said, drop to your knees and beg, and he would have done it. Governor Newsom added the words, you bent the knee. Hawthorne headquartered SpaceX employs thousands of people who help build spacecraft. It's also the home of Mission Control. It's not yet clear how workers will be affected.
If he wants to do that, he can.
Hawthorne residents had mixed views about Musk's plans.
I see people move to Texas anyways, too.
Yeah. Like
people
crazy.
Complaining about California's prices and such.
Yep.
It might be a good thing for the workers if they try to move over there.
I don't really agree with what the reason is for him leaving, but if that's his decision, then he's the one that owns the company. It really sucks for a lot of people that live around here because I know a lot of people that wanted to work at SpaceX in this location, so losing that opportunity for some of my colleagues to get jobs here, that really is a shame.
Well, you should blame your governor, right?
Yeah, I was going to say blame on Gavin.
Because it's not just SpaceX that is leaving or X that is leaving. You also have other companies as well, too, that are evacuating California.
Absolutely.
And I say evacuate because that is the situation in California, right? It is so bad. It is so terrible that people are leaving, not because they necessarily want to leave. They don't want to live in California. It's because they have to leave. They feel forced to leave due to the policies, right? A lot of people want to live in California. It has nice weather. However,
Beautiful
they
weather.
can't live there anymore due to the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, insane policies, whether you're talking about taxation, whether you're talking about being soft on crime, whether you're talking about having your kids being indoctrinated in school, right? All of these things are driving people away from the state, okay?
California, I'm not going to lie to you. Man, that's so weird too, man. California, you got the US of A, but California is a communist state. It is. It's operated totally different from everybody else. They impose all this other stuff that just don't make any sense. I don't understand it. And it's the most beautifulest state in this country. The best mix of weather and everything. We just need a total revamp of our government system here on this state. I ain't even saying just the country. Country, yes, we need it for the country, but in this state alone, the government system needs to change.
Yeah. And now Elon Musk, this is the last straw. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm out, right? And clearly Gavin Newsom is triggered by it. I mean, he's talking about Elon Musk bending the knee to Trump. No, he's not bending the knee to Trump. He's just doing what he has to do as a businessman. And ultimately, California is not good for business, and it's not good for families either. It is what it is, right? Yeah. It is what it is.
Tesla charging station near the SpaceX campus. Owners of Musk's electric cars try to be optimistic with the little information that's been released.
Hopefully the positive will outweigh the negative, and so we shall see.
Now, we did talk to one SpaceX employee off camera who said that they're just not clear on how any of this is going to roll out. They really haven't been given much information or any information on whether they'll be offered relocation packages or not. No official word from SpaceX tonight.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could have been an off-the-cuff type of tweet, right? But I don't think he's going to say that without actually having plans to do it, right? I think that is in the works, and he's just announcing it now because, again, California is just insane, right? It's an insane place to live, to be. And Elon is just one of many businessmen, smart businessmen, and one of many companies that are deciding that, hey, we're leaving, right? We are leaving this state because we just can't operate here. I think in the next 20 to 30 years, California is going to be a wasteland, right? It'll be a wasteland of just the cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, insane individuals who choose to continue to stay there, and all the normies will be in other states, right? And let's just hope that they keep their politics in California, right? And they bring their politics to the states they're moving to. That's the only thing I'm concerned about, right? I'm glad that people are leaving California. It's just that you shouldn't come to other states, the red states, and bring your politics with you, because if that's the case, then you should just stay in California, right? But it seems as if somebody like Elon Musk, he is slowly but surely kind of taking a red pill in the sense that, he seems to be more comfortable being openly associated with Republicans, with the right, with Trump. And you love to see it, right? You love to see the momentum that our movement is getting going into the election. It really does feel like the stars are aligning. However, again, like I stress in every video, we just have to keep up the momentum and to finish the job. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you
conservative perspective always brings the heat, and that was really good. I know you had several clips there, and I think he should. I don't agree with that bill one iota, one dot at all. Period.
Could you imagine this man would want to run for president and what he would impose? It would be so. It was all this stuff was ushered in Obama, and Biden extended it. But Gavin, I believe, would escalate it to a whole nother level.
He would try.
Because he's from the area. Not only is he from the state where you have a lot of weirdos, he from the northern side of California where it get real weird.
Well, and
if that's the people he's around, the real weird, and they're feeding in to him what he need to do, imagine him trying to be on the all 50 states kind of rule. You know what I'm saying? It would be some ridiculous stuff coming out the pipeline. No. And then, I'm going to talk about this on the next video, but the whole thing with Biden with just catching that little cold.
Right. Okay. So
Okay, go ahead.
So, let's just talk about it on that video. But anyway, I feel like he should, because I remember this being held up. He's been trying to get this bill passed, and I remember it was being held up at the Senate. But I'm like, okay, so they allowed him to pass this bill?
Right. And that's the part that was confusing me. How did that go across? It had to be passed.
So now he's being sued, and I'm like, this has to there has to be a violation of the Constitution in that law some way. It has to be. I just don't see how he's able to even do that when parents have rights and they're the legal guardians of their kids. It's like counterintuitive. How does that even transpire?
I got to find a breakdown and see how he was able to actually pass that. But apparently it was passed, and this is the actual first state in the history and you know what it is, when you have one state that finally passed, the other states going to try to, woke states like New York, Chicago, those other states are going to try to implement it, since now that it officially passed from a state, and they never thought that would have passed.
Well, I hope parents stand up for their rights and fight like you know what to make sure that is not going to stand, because there's absolutely no way I would not be able to tolerate it.
Right.
I know, it just stays twisted. It's weird.
But so all right, man, this is ridiculous. We in these times. I told y'all, like, if y'all go look there, the pastor was saying the Ichabod that's coming, God's taking his hand off, and these are the things, because we are so stuck in our pride and our sin that we will fight to the death to hold on to our sin, and then we want to make everybody else endeavor in it. So God's like, you know what? I love some of y'all, but but I'm about to pull my hand back, and stuff started to get real weird. All right, man. So 2024 be more.
That's what you said.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, no, I'm done.
Okay, 2024 be more.
Talk less.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.